Good morning, folks, and welcome back to Parcel Simulator. In the last episode, we have added a lot more automation. We added our sticker machine, we've revamped our lineup, we've added some extra big racks to assist us with our conveyor system for the road and rail with our nice little pauser here. So this side is semi-automated. I also, at the end of last episode, added in the stamp machine. So now, the only thing we're checking manually is if there's a contents inspection sticker. The next unlock, better pay my bill. The next unlock that we have, which would be warehouse tier 9, will give us the scanner for that as well, which looks to be the last scanner, which means I guess we have fully automated the checks at that point. It's only the delivery via the diverter, which we need to do last, which we don't have enough money to push out the air and the maritime yet. This side here, again, also has the stamp machine. We just need to get a little bit more money, buy a new kind of tier, warehouse tier expansion, and we can add another machine, and we can start to build out this kind of more intelligent drop-off system. I think the goal for this episode will be to unlock obviously tier 9, we'll add our last kind of scanning machine, and let's start to take a look at the automation for air and maritime. I'm curious what is left of this warehouse. There's a lot of expansions we can still buy, and I know going through the shop here, like tier 12, you get an unlock for a launcher, whatever that does. Were there additional, so we've got our parcel type. We still need to buy that one at tier 10. No new licenses have appeared. Obviously the shop upgrades. Tier 14 for flooring. So we're at least 5 tiers away from that. We're 2 more tiers away from this one. So there's still upgrades to be had. What I'm interested to know is, once we get our last machine and once we get our system, can we just go completely hands off? Maybe. We're getting pretty close anyway. But today, Wednesday, is road, rail, and air. So worth checking for those. Keep an eye on that. I swear one went through that was already pre-approved. We want to move quick. We want to get those parcels processed. No downtime. We certainly can look at those upgrades to get more speed and delivery size. Because these machines, right, if we're getting about 10 to 12,000 per day, we can start to look to upgrade the speed. Once we upgrade the speed, we obviously get more throughput, and then we can afford to take on more parcels. So there's a few things, obviously, on our wish list. That's air. It's getting the next tier. I'll load all this stuff in when I get time. It's getting the next tier, and it's getting the machines to process quicker. Right? Those would be the big ones. So, I'm just going to keep running through here. Looks good, looks good. That one's already approved for rail. Yeah, okay, let's grab that while we're here. It's this kind of like manual stuff, right? Where we shouldn't have to do this. We should be able to get them done quicker. That's what I think we're missing. The smart redirections, the quick off the trucks, that kind of stuff. Grab this guy. I see you rejected. There we go. Yep. Mind you, there's no rush. Like, we don't have to process 120 parcels a day. We could be happy with just 60, right? You just repeat the day, you know, do 2 days instead of 1, that kind of thing. But I think we're relatively well positioned to get to that final tier, right? Okay, let's keep them coming, keep them coming. That's road. It'd be nice to have like a quick redirect where I can just drop it on a rack, a conveyor system here, and just run it down this way. That's only really relevant because I'm doing them manually, like these manual offloads. Once it's fully automated, obviously we don't need to. So I guess we're kind of creating solutions to problems we shouldn't have to worry about. Okay, quickly roll through. one's going to be rejected anyway with the stamp, which we don't need to worry about anymore, which is good. There's relatively few parcels that had made it through that require the content inspection that didn't already get rejected along the way. So our approval rack there, like we can see there's two parcels that have already kind of piled in. These ones should have everything approved, except it's supposed to be parcel inspection, so I'm not sure why that made it here. It's because of this. What did I do here? No, that doesn't make sense. This, oh, okay. That doesn't make sense. Okay, let's fix this guy up. Something has gone horribly wrong here. Let me fix this up and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. I think we have mainly fixed it. No, we still need our rejection one here. Okay. 1 second. I'm all over the road today. What did I even do? Okay. So that we need 2 straights. Well, I guess that'll be replaced by the joiner. So the joiner will go there. We'll have 1 more straight. Load this guy up. Beautiful. I double checked my other side and we look good there. Whoop. I just like totally brain farted on that one. So let's get this stuff all sorted. That's okay. It's a bit of a pain while we're, you know, operating and doing this, but that's life, isn't it? Okay, we're getting a backup on our rejection conveyor, so let's send these in. And it's going to be this guy here we need to remove, so let's just wait for that. Those should start loading in. We'll grab our other stuff. Oh, chaotic day, that's for sure. Okay, so move this through. I am now curious if our parcel situation has gone haywire. Like, did we just send a bunch through that shouldn't have gone through? Very possibly. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted you, and I want you. And like so. There. Just move these out of the way here. Because the only, well, I guess I'm not quite accurate, where like everything that comes through has been checked. The only things that we need to physically check are when they have these stickers, right? Everything else that doesn't have the required sticker just gets approved and gets dropped off onto a conveyor, right? So this is where we can have that contents, what was it? The diverter? This guy, right? This guy and this guy, both of them. So the contents inspection, we could put like here. No, because we have this last run. You almost need it kind of like to come out here. And then if it needs contents inspection, it goes boop, back to the rack. If it doesn't, it can go onto another line that has the green stamp, the sticker applier, and it gets stickered, and then it should get split onto whatever run it needs to go on with the cargo type diverter. So that's kind of the game plan. Is it going to work? I think so. We need to rejig, I think, a little bit of our layout, and we can move it more central. Like we could have kind of a staging rack here and a staging rack here for inspection sticker or for whatever is approved, which then gets offloaded onto separate belts. So I feel like we've got a plan in place. Let me clean up this disaster that I've made, and I'll check in with you guys in just a minute. So yeah, like this process is pretty simple. You pick it up, you spin it. There's no inspection required. We just slap a label on it. We drop it off onto our conveyor. This one here needs an inspection. I don't need to check anything else. We just pop her open. Everything looks good. Approve. And off we go. So the system is fairly quick, but you know, obviously we had some a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning. So I think we're getting there. I think we're making, you know, we're heading in the right direction. We're close to the next step where we just are full hands off, all computer parts. But what I'm curious about now is just like the space, right? So we seem to have an excess of warehouse space, and I'm not sure why. Right, before I was thinking, oh, there's bound to be some sort of, you know, more delivery bays, right? Doesn't look to be the case. So I'm just gonna keep banging through these parcels. Again, because there's no sticker, I just need to approve it and send it through. I'm just gonna keep going through these guys. We'll finish this up. Let's see where we are. I may do another couple days, get some money in the bank, upgrade these machines, and I think that's probably the smartest bet. Right now, well, cleaning up this mess as well. So we'll tidy up all of our air because air can go out today. So yeah, let's get this done. I think upgrading these guys is going to be our next stage, as well as maybe figuring out our kind of semi-final layout with how we can automate the parcel redirection. All right, guys, I am about 2 days, I think I've done, where we have processed all of our parcels. We've banked up to just over $30,000. FYI, I also bought the warehouse expansion, which now gives us the extra delivery bay door. So we do have 3 delivery bays. We're tier 10. And what tier 10 means is we have now unlocked the final scanner, so the contents prohibited scanner. So that can tell us if we need to check those or not. We also have the cargo type diverter and the smart splitter. So we pretty much have everything we need, at least in my head, to fully automate a line. I don't actually think this is required, but what we need to do is add in the contents prohibited scanner into our lineups, which would mean if it gets through everything, we don't need to check anything. It should go to another line. It gets green stickered and it gets put on a cargo splitter, the type diverter, and then it goes into a lineup depending on where it needs to go. And if it fails anything, then obviously it goes back under this belt and it goes to the rejection line. So I did a few days just to bank some money because I think I can fully automate these 2 lines. I'm kind of just going to ignore that one for the time being. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to automate these 2 lines completely hands off. Don't touch a damn thing, right? Don't need to put a sticker on it. Don't need to inspect it. Don't need to open it. Don't need to do anything. The only thing we're going to need to do is flip these pause conveyors when the day is not open on, I think, just this one. Because obviously road will keep going through. If we set up a system to dump into here, if they're not accepting it, I think it just queues. We'll find out. Either way, the worst case scenario is you just flip your pausers depending on what's being accepted for the day. But what I'm thinking is maybe having a more of a, because like we have all this space, maybe we have like a central area here where we process the approved parcels, which then get split into our lanes to go for delivery, right? So all the approved stuff, rather than going to this rack, can come out this way. They'll go to like a little sorting station, and then they'll split back out depending on where they need to go. So I'm hoping I have enough money. I'm going to give it a shot. If not, I'll run a couple extra days. But I'll start setting it up, and I'm going to run you guys through the process. I think we're near the end of this series, just because I don't think there's anything else left. Once you fully automate it, yeah, I mean, you can open up some more space, you can get more delivery doors, but you're just repeating the same thing. It's just add this onto the door and have it come out to the same kind of processing area. Of course, we can speed up the machines to make them go faster, but at the end of the day, you're just getting more money to buy more machines to do the same thing. So I think if we've overcome all the challenges, that is like all the inspection requirements and the sorting, then I think that's it. But I'm gonna give it a go, see where we end up. And when you see me next, I'll have a, hopefully, fully automated parcel sort. It's been about 1 hour of my time. It's taken me a while. I completely tore it down and rebuilt it. I have to say, the building, it starts out okay, but it becomes very tedious when you have to move your whole operation. So it would be nicer if you could like drag blueprints and like fill them with purchases or something, but having to do individually piece by piece is a bit of a pain. And there's no blueprint, like to copy paste type thing. So you're kind of always having to just double check your design. But let me show you what I've got. All right, so it's gonna look different, quite different. So what we've got here is a symmetric design around the 2 loading bays. Okay, so this is only for these 2 loading bays. Just full transparency, I have not even touched this. What I would do in the future is open up this one here, and I'm guessing there'll be another set here. I would just duplicate this setup for the most part. But let me show you what I've got. Parcels come in, they go to this initial sticker scanner. If they are denied, they come out to the left, they go onto this runway here, and they go all the way out to the invalid submissions chute. Right? Along the way, if at any point through these machines, if they ever fail, they just get shot out to this side here. All right. So any failure, they come through this line. If they don't have a red sticker, this sticker gets applied at the end stage, and off they go. Right? If they are green stickered, they come out this runway here, and they go up this central kind of like approval chute, and I'll show you more of that in a moment. From there, the ones that don't have stickers go through the chain, this little cascade of machines, right? So every time they approve, it goes to the next machine, and so on and so on. And this is every single machine that we have access to, right? So in our shop, everything that we have, all the way up to the contents prohibited, right? That's our last check. So if it makes it through every single one of these, it drops out this line here, and it goes through the approval sticker machine. So it'll either have one automatically, or it'll need one applied, at which point it gets stickered, right? That is the exact same setup that I have on this side. All the approvals come out the left, merge at the central lane. All the rejected parcels get shot out to the right. And they come around over this bridge, off they go around the corner, right? Once they get onto this approval lane, they go to the cargo diverters, okay? So what I didn't realize was these, I'll show you on this one here. You click this little sign and it will tell you what is getting pushed out this kind of runway. So right now nothing is moving out because I don't want any parcels dropping. But you can't combine 2 different types. So it's just kind of like clicking through and choosing the one that you want. But like for my setup over here, I have road and rail. I can't do both. So I had to do 2 separate diverters to handle both of those. So if I flip this back to none, how it's going to work is this line here will take rail. So rail comes out this line here. Road will come out this line here. We're going to do air through the top, which goes into this racking system. And maritime will come out this one here. And this one, nothing. So for air and maritime, they're going to go to a duplicate setup where I have 2 racks set up. So just to account for the volume of parcels, they'll come down the conveyor, they'll start to load up the racks, and these are the big racks that hold 16. So we have space on the racks for 32, plus whatever backs up on the conveyor. And then they will offload onto these conveyors, where the pauser will get toggled on and off. So right now, no air, so we toggle it off. And that will be what controls if we accept parcels down the chute or not, right? So air would come through onto these racks, off the racks, and it will sit here. So while this is turned off, boxes will just queue up here, right? Similar for maritime, it comes down this lane here, onto the racks. We can see we've got some already. And they just queue up on the lane until we turn this guy back on. So right now we don't accept maritime, so it's off. If it is road or rail, it comes down this side. Road, we know we always accept road. So it just goes all the way around and drops in. If it's rail, it's doing the exact same thing that these other guys are doing. We have a dual rack setup. This is just to account for volumes on the weekend. Loads it, offloads it, loads it, and then it will start to pile up on our pauser. So today, we are not accepting rail. It is actually Saturday. So today we're only moving road. So road is open there. And we'll just double check. That pauser's off, so air is off, and this pauser's off, so maritime is off. So I have not tested this yet. I did a quick check, and I think it works, but we'll see how that goes. So this one, right away, I can tell you is backwards. So let's fix that one. There may be a few like that. There we go. I tried to do a quick little run through and make sure everything was set up right. Let's make sure all those arrows are pointing the right way. I think we're okay. But I guess the end kind of point of this setup, as we hopefully await the good news, is that it is completely hands-off. We don't need to sticker anything. We don't need to move anything. We are limited by the speed of our machines, however. All right, and this main belt and this kind of like a green sticker machine may be holding us back. Now we can upgrade it. So $50, we'll speed that up. Maybe we'll try it on this one here as well. All right, so we have those to worry about. We also have these submission chutes because we are tier 9. All right, so if we go to upgrades, the automatic exports we don't have yet, right? Pretty much we can just buy one warehouse tier upgrade, that corner one there, which may be another delivery door. And then we can upgrade our automatic chutes because we'll have tier 10 and we'll have enough money. All right, so there we go. This one should be maritime. Yep, and it's approved with the sticker. That one's maritime, approved with the sticker. Okay, looking good so far. That one was rejected. All right, so that one got its sticker. So there is, if we want to speed it up, if we want to get more throughput, all we need to do is, if we just take a look right now, if we ignore that one, what does this cost? 3,400. Okay, so we'll let it run for a little bit, and let's just see if we can get that next tier upgrade. All right. What's interesting though is it feels like the pacing of the game in terms of like unlocks is off, right? So I was able to completely hands-off automate these 2 delivery bay doors. Of course, they're backed up, but we were able to do all of this, and I have only upgraded the weight machine on both of these. So that was 2,000 each. I've never touched these. That's obviously what we need to do next. But it seems like we should be forced to upgrade these before we can get to this, like this level of automation, right? Something it seems like maybe the order of unlocks is a little bit off. And a few things I've noticed as well, like the cargo diverter, this one here, it's completely unnecessary. Like you get the scanner to check for it 1 tier after you unlock this. It's like, I think 8 and 9. So going from 8 and 9 only costs you like $3,000. So why would you even bother implementing this when you can just do this? Which is strange. Like it doesn't quite make sense. Smart splitter, I guess, would make sense if you're doing like a big central area, which I'm not. But otherwise, we shouldn't have to do anything and just wait for the money to come in. Right? It is slow. I'll admit to that. But it's quite easy to do. Like this was not a difficult setup. And when I originally started setting this up, I was worried about space, right? I started to try to make things like wiggle in here just so it wouldn't use as much room. In reality, that shouldn't be on. I goofed there. In reality, it's like you've got tons of space, right? So the footprint of this is only about the width of the 2 delivery bay doors. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, you probably don't have a delivery bay door there. But yeah, you've got plenty of room. So you shouldn't feel constrained in that regard. Okay, so I know I've got a couple mistakes in there because I left that, I guess, on. We're just waiting to get, here we go, let's submit these guys. Okay, 37, let's get the next unlock over here. Let's just see what it is. It is a delivery door. Okay. These are closer together than the ones over there. Even so, you just stagger it to the right, and you could just duplicate this setup right over here, have a central runway where your parcels kind of go, and you could just essentially do the exact same thing that I've done over here with this setup. And then you do diverters onto racks maybe on the right side, or you just push them onto the same kind of green rail, and off you go. So I guess the kind of future plans, if you wanted to play this more, is to get this whole setup done. You can upgrade all your belt speeds, you can upgrade all your machines, you can do all your automatic exports. That's the obvious kind of like end game completionist goal. But as it stands for me, I think we've seen everything we need to see from here. There's not a whole lot of new going on. So I think this is a pretty good wrapping point to the series, actually. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope you guys got maybe some inspiration from the setup if it's something that, you know, you want to replicate in your plays as well. You may jump back into this if there's future updates. I think one thing would be nice is additional licenses, right? Like, it kind of stops after stamps, so there's not a whole lot more you need to do. And like, I haven't done the last parcel upgrade, I haven't done all the shop upgrades, but it doesn't really feel necessary, I want to say. And I don't mean that to be a slight on the game. I just think maybe there should be like some of these unlocks or licenses and the shop machines, the tiers maybe either need to be pushed out further or change the order in which they happen. Because as it stands right now, I could just run a few days, get the automatic exports, and I could just sit here and wait, and then just slowly upgrade the machines, and then this all gets faster, and then you don't have to worry about the whole backlog. But there's no real point because there's nothing left for me to do. So, yeah, a little bit of an anticlimactic ending, I think, but we're just gonna let it go. We're gonna let it run, enjoy the fruits of our effort. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you guys later, and we'll see you in the next episodes.